So welcome back to our demo day. We're going to share our next demonstrator. We're going to welcome our special guest, Sherry Baker. She's the owner of Country Crafts in Greeley. Let me just share my screen for you so you can see. There's Sherry. She has more than 30 years of experience in the cross-stitch industry, and in her video, she's going to share several ways of how to finish small cross-stitch ornaments. So let me just show you a few things what she's going to be sharing with you. And we have a lot of really super fun new cross-stitch ornaments in that, and you can apply this technique on anything. It doesn't actually have to be just for Christmas. So let me, without further ado, go back and start her video, and we can watch her demonstration.
Hi, this is Sherry Baker from Country Crafts in Greeley, Colorado. I'm doing a demo for the Stitchin Den today, and they're up in Estes Park. If you're ever up there, make sure you stop in and see their shop. It's lovely. So the first ornament I wanted to show you is this one was out of a very old Christmas magazine. And what we did is the design is pretty small, but we added the trim and the buttons on each corner to kind of give it a little bit more space and a little more substance. The other thing we did was on the edge here, I have pins that are sticking in there, and we took the ribbon and just did a little back and forth motion. Hopefully I'm not shaking here. Okay, and it went back and forth, and then that just goes right in between those two pieces of cardboard, because we've got a piece of cardboard on the back, and then we have a piece of cardboard on the front where we finished it. So this one there, then there's kind of a ditch in the middle, and that's where you put the pins in for the trim. And then we put a little hanger up at the top and a little bow there to finish it off. This one is a similar one, but the ribbon on it is a little larger. So, but the pins are still stuck in the side, and they've gone back and forth like that. And then we just stuffed it back in. If you don't have the correct pin color, you can either paint them or spray paint them, or either use fingernail polish on them to color the ends a little bit more. But that's a nice finish too. This one, well, if I can get it right there, we go. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so this one I put rickrack on the edges, and then to tack it down, I just put a bead and I sewed the bead across and over here and back, and that just kind of attaches it onto the edge. A lot of times your edges can be a little bit ugly, and this really hides a lot of stuff. This one is done. This is a JBW design, and on the edges of this we put a fabric on the back and then a fabric on the front, and then put the trim on the edges. This is from Lady Dot Designs, and it just hides that ditch there again too. And this I don't sew on, I glue it on to the edge, and it gives just a really nice finish. And then up at the top here, I just put some little jingle bells. And this is another one. This is a Santa Claus from that same JBW series that she has. Now the other way we finish them, this is a little snowman pattern, and this is a Mill Hill design, and the little snowman, they come in a kit like this, and then it has everything inside that you need, the fabric and the beads and the little treasures and the paper to do the ornament. But what we've done on this one is I took a piece, a tag that you get like at Hobby Lobby, kind of a gift tag sort of thing, and we cut it out and then put the fabric, the paper behind it, and then covered the tag with another piece of paper, and then did the same color on the back. And then this part is just tacked on with the little brads, and you can get the little brads at scrapbooking section at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And this one's done the same way, with putting paper on the front and on the back. And then this one, we sewed beads on, or little buttons on in the corners to kind of secure it on there. So there's not any glue on this. It's just secured on with the little buttons. And this is just trimmed to size. So when you're stitching these little ornaments, make sure you get right smack dab in the middle. And the way I do that is on the piece of paper that is in the kit. I turn it to the back side, and you'll notice the back from the front, because the front is a little smoother and the back is a little rougher. And put just a little pencil mark on the back side. So it'll be on the back side, it'd be about right there. And then that's where you know that's right where your center is and you can work out. So, and that way you know you're perfectly centered and you have enough of the paper to finish something like this. And the Scotty dog was done the same way. So I cut these out with some fancy paper cutting scissors, and then I just put the little brads on to hold the little Scotty dog onto the paper. And then again, the front and the back are the same color. And you can either get these brown tags and then cover them with paper, or you can just get the brown tags and leave them as they are too, if you like the country look. Now this particular one is done with scrapbooking paper also, and it's a little gift card. So we just cut out the opening, kind of layered it a little bit, and there is a little I don't know what they call those things. They lift up the paper so it's kind of a 3D sort of thing. And then you just put your little kit behind there, or your little stitched piece behind there, and it ends up being a card on the inside. And this particular cutout works well for most of these designs, because most of the designs are about the same size. Now this one's a little different in that it's not really for Christmas. It's a little camping scene, but I thought it would be good for Stitchin Den since they're in the mountains. And this is a little shadow box that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I kind of turned it into a little diorama. So now the rocks usually lay a little bit better than this. They're kind of all wonky, but they do lay at the bottom. And then when my customers gave me a little Christmas tree to put in there, and so I put a tree in with it too. But you can do this with any of them too, and I have one that's got a seagull in it, and I have little seashells in there, and it's just kind of a fun little finish. And again, this one, you need to make sure that you have it right smack dab in the middle when you're stitching, so that you have a big enough piece of paper to fit in the back, because this is exactly the size that the paper is. And they have these shadow boxes in different colors too, brown and black, and kind of a wood wash color that they have in there. Now this one is a sled that I found. I think I found that it says either Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And I just took the sled. Whoops, I'm not getting centered here. I don't know which way. Oh, there I go. Okay. Left is right and right is left. So, well, I still don't have it right. Which way am I supposed to go? There you go. Okay. So then I put the paper behind it and the perforated paper on top. And this one, I just have one sheet under here. And this one I did have to glue because I don't have any brads in here. So I just lightly put some Elmer's glue on the back and then just glued that to the paper. And then I glued the paper to the sled to finish it off. And so you can always find other little ornaments that you can put your stitching on also. Now this little guy,
that's my favorite.
this one's her favorite one. It's
my daughter's an ice skater and I love snowmen.
So this one turns out really cute. Now this one doesn't have anything on the back side. You can put either felt or you can put a piece of paper on the back, and that way you'll have a little bit of it and then cut it out. So it's just a little bit out beyond where your stitching is. And on these, they usually recommend that you go about 1 square out to do your trimming with. And you want to make sure you use a really sharp scissor so you can get into the little nooks and crannies and get all that cut out. These are kind of cool too, in that they have the hanger with it that's all the beads. So you can just have a hanger like that and then just hang it on your tree. Oops, what else did I have here? Okay, now when you're picking fabric for your background, so like on, let me find one here, like this, we had the background on the back here and then put the stitching on the front here. These, you want to pick a piece of fabric that has like a smaller print to it. I like the smaller prints. If you use a stripe, you need to be careful with the stripes because they're a little bit harder to line up. Now this one, I put some double stick tape all around here. So on all four sides, I have double stick tape. And then I also have some double stick tape right here. And what I'm going to do is I have a piece of just regular batting. And I'm going to put that on top there. And this just gives a little softness to your piece. And then I'm going to put the fabric right side down and put the batting right side down. And then I pull in my edges on all four sides. And then you can do your corners one of two ways. You can either pull this in, make sure your edges come up like this, pull this in, and then just put a piece of tape right there. Or you can pull in the point first and then pull in your edges. Oops, there's my needle here. Okay. And then catch your edge here up at the top with the needle and thread. And this is just a needle that I've threaded with one strand and then doubled it over, and I have a knot at the end there. And you're just going to keep tacking it like this. My friend Carol took a class from Kathy Haberman from Hands-On Designs, and she's a wonderful finisher. And this was one of her tips. And the neat thing about this is when you do it that way, you get a really nice tip. Whereas this one, where I just kind of put it down, see how my corner isn't very good, and I'm going to have to work with that a little more. So if you just put those in and then do it this way, when you just tack it in the corner, it really makes a nice crisp corner. So then if you have your stitching done, you're going to do that on all four sides. And then when your stitching is done, you can put it on the top like this, and then it'll give you a little corner. And then you do another one for the back side, and you could put little brads up here and here and here to hold it, and then decide if you wanted to do a ribbon edge or the chenille edge, or you can do rickrack too if you want. And it is a little bit trickier to attach those little things like I showed you with the beads. If it's flat like this, it was easier to do when it was something that was a pillow. So that takes care of those. And then what else did I not show? Oops. Oh, I'm making everybody giggly here. Okay, I think that was all of them. There is another series of little snow globes too. And these two are like the Snowman, where you're just going to cut it out. And then you can either put another fabric on the back if you want and trim out a little bit farther also. And this again uses the little beads for the trim. But the little Mill Hill button and bead kits I think are a really good value. They run $8.95, and they have everything you need in it. The perforated paper, the beads, the whole shoot match, and the thread too. So they're really nice. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you. She had a lot of really great tips, didn't she? Do you guys have any questions or anything about her demonstration? You're welcome to unmute if you like. No questions? Okay, so next up on our schedule is actually me, and we're running a little bit behind, but we will start at 11 o'clock. I'll do knitted felted flower bowls, and we'll be right back for that. Okay.